Hello, welcome. I'm Dark Horde. So, you've either found this video because you're very interested in modding Mag, or you're looking to get pissed off before the end of it because your build's better than mine for some reason. And it makes you feel special to state that. But, if you're here for the prior, let's get on with it. Now, the arcanes in this build have nothing to do with the actual build itself, so I won't be covering them. I'm sure there are very beneficial arcanes, and people will let me know in the comments, but I have not acquired them yet. Now, this build has been the same build I've been running on Mag Prime for around 5 years now, and it actually used to sit at 60% ability strength before some update that they pushed out. We'll get to the stats later in the video. Now, after extensive testing, I have concluded that this build is the best and the most fun way to play your mag. If you have a build you enjoy, feel free to slide it down in the comments below. I'd be happy to look over it. Now, let's get into the video, and I hope to earn your subscription today. Now, the first mod I've got on this build is Corrosive Projection. It's an aura mod. Every frame can have an aura mod. It gives a negative 18% debuff to enemy armor and is available for 20 credits in the Nightwing offering, however that stuff works. Nightwave offering. Cunning Drift is the next mod. It's an Xless mod, and it gives 12% slide and minus 30% friction. Those don't really have anything to do with the build, but the ability range is the key reason that it's on the build. It gives a plus 15% ability range, and that can be gotten from the Cunning test in one of the Lua challenge rooms. It's the one with the security eye mini boss from the second Dream Quest. Basically, you gotta shoot the caps off the left and right water pipes in the room and let all of the water flow out. And once it's flowing freely, the center will glow golden, and basically you step on it to activate the test. The fight's identical to the one from the second Dream Quest, where you gotta trick the eye into destroying the exposed sides of the pillars using its wave attack. Each time pillar is destroyed, the security eye will spin in the middle of the room, releasing projectiles that either deal explosive damage or leave an AoE on the ground. And once all 4 pillars are destroyed, it's over. A glowing opening will appear in the center of the room that'll lead to a portal where you'll get your Cunning Drift mod. The next mod is Continuity. Now you can get that from Rotation C in Tier 1 and Tier 3 defense missions. It gives a plus 30% ability duration. Now for the Tier 1 defense missions, it's an 8.33% drop chance. That's going to be at Lith on Earth, Tessera on Venus, Lares on Mercury, Spear on Mars, Gulliver on Phobos, and Casta on Ceres. As for the Tier 3, that's going to be a 2.26% drop chance, and that'll be at Stefano on Uranus, Stulfer on Luna, Proteus on Neptune, Nabuk at the Kuva Fortress, Kala Azar on Ares, Outer Terminus on Pluto, and Hydron on Sedna. And then the next mod is Streamline. It gives a plus 30% to ability efficiency. Now you can get this from a few places. You can get this from the Cetus Bounty, level 5 to 15. You can get it from the second and final stage, where it has a 7.52 and a 30.56% chance to drop respectively. You can also get this from Dark Sector Defense Missions Rotation C, at a 1.84% drop chance. I've forgotten after all these years what those missions look like since I haven't had to deal with them in a while, so I don't have any images for you here. But I'm sure they're easy enough to find if you're looking for them. You can also get them from Tier 3 Defense Rotation B at a 6.67% drop chance. And since I've already listed where they are in the continuity description, I won't go over them again. Feel free to go back and peruse it if you need to. They can also be gotten from the Infested Salvage Mission Rotation B at 6.67%, and that's going to be on Osterus on Ares. You can get it in the Lua Spy mission at 7.49%. You can also get it in Tier 2 spy missions at a 5.56% drop rate. And those will be at Bode on Ceres, Amalthea on Jupiter, Valak on Europa, and Dione on Saturn. And then the next and probably most important mod of the whole bunch is Magnetized Discharge. This allows to detonate your bubbles, your twos, your magnetizers, whatever you'd like to call them. I call them bubbles. It allows you to detonate those bubbles at will, which is really nice if you get it placed in not quite the right area. It also gives a 50% chance to disarm enemies who are affected by the bubble. And it also gives a plus 45% range to the bubble. Now for this, it requires either partner rank of the Perrin sequence or the flawless rank of New Loka. Either way you go about it, you can get it for 25,000 standing from either of the syndicates. And then the next mod we got here is Vitality. That's mainly here to make Mag less squishy. That gives plus 440% health. Anyone should have it by now, but I'll give a quick sum up on how to get. There's various capture missions it'll drop from at 10.84% drop rate. Cetus Bounty, level 5 to 15, stages 1 and 2 at 20% and 15.49% respectively. Tier 3 defense missions, again I've already listed where to get those. Dark Sector defense missions, Infested Salvage, Tiers 1, 2, and 3 interceptions, so I'm pretty sure that's all interceptions, and Tier 2 spy missions. Next mod we got here is Prime Flow at plus 275% energy maximum. And you can get that from Barakatir. He shows up every now and again in specific relays. It's marked on the map with a little symbol that doesn't show up unless he's going there. And you can get that for 110,000 credits plus 350 ducats. You may have your own pronunciation. I find it funnier that way. But yeah, and basically you can get ducats by selling prime parts at little kiosks in the relay. They should be roughly in the middle of the room where he's in. Maybe to the sides. I forget which. They're there. You'll see a bunch of people gathered there. The next mod here is Vigor. Again, like Vitality, there to make Mag less squishy. That gives 120% shield capacity and health. You could formerly get that in Operation Arid Fear, but since they removed it, they've now placed it in Nightmare Mode missions and have given it a 15.49% drop rate. The next mod we got here is Stretch. This is one of the more important ones. It gives a plus 45% ability range. It's another you should have picked up by this point already. If you need a little extra help on how to find it, feel free to go to the Warframe Wiki. They'll have everything you need to know there. And the last mod here is Overextended. It gives a 90% plus 90% ability range, and with the caveat of minus 60% ability strength. But that second stat is not important whatsoever, and we'll get into that very soon here. Now, Overextended is a little more difficult to get. You got to get it in an Orokin Derelict Vault, and it has a 4.35% drop chance. To get into these vaults, you'll need to have equipped in your gear slot one of 4 dragon keys. Which one you'll need is not predetermined, it's randomly selected, at least to my knowledge. So your best shot is to get a group of 4 people, each with a different key equipped. And keep in mind that each of these keys gives the player holding it a debuff. So you'll want to plan your frames that you go into the mission with accordingly, so you're not cucked by this debuff. And you can get cucked pretty hard by them if you're not careful. These vaults used to be found, I believe, in the Void, but since have changed. They used to be found elsewhere, but since they've changed, they're now located in Demios, and the missions need to have the Orokin Derelict tile set, and should be in most of the missions, excluding defense missions, assassination missions, and the Cambion Drift. Now, let's get into the workings of why this build is so good. So, the reason I said earlier strength means absolutely nothing is when you pair mag with a good heavy damage, maybe not so accurate weapon like a shotgun, the ability strength means nothing if you can pump enough lead into her bubble. Which is why I've lost all care as to how much strength I have, and I'm very happy with it sitting at 40%. So the armor, because of the mods to increase certain livability stats, the armor will sit at 125. The energy, due to prime flow, will sit at 744. It is nice to have that extra energy. Especially if you bring in squad energy supply droplet things, whatever you call them. The health will sit at 860, shield will sit at 630. Now, with those stats, it is still very easy, if you're not careful, to lose yourself and get downed and killed with the mag. Mag is a squishy frame, that it's something you will have to keep in mind. But you play her right, you won't have to worry about it. Now, for the effect stats, the duration and efficiency with this build sit evenly at 130%. I would have more duration and less efficiency if I could. I might have to do some more testing to figure out how to mod that. But again, this mod configuration has been sitting the same for the last 5 or so years. I haven't needed to change it. The range is the key stat, sitting at 250%. That means you'll have a bigger bubble, and bigger bubble means more enemies will get sucked in, more damage will get sucked in, and more damage will be output. And that's basically the long and short of it. And yeah, I find it very fun to play. You get those Corpus missions that have the drop ship. Just throw your bubble on the drop ship, shoot a couple shots into it, and the drop ship will come with nothing to drop off. And you'll see the bodies fall back where you put the bubble, and it's absolutely hilarious. It's also nice to use to block off doorways. So if you got a funnel point where a bunch of enemies come through, you just put a bubble on an enemy in that funnel point, put a bunch of damage into it, and enemies will not be able to get past that bubble. So all your loot will be in one location you can go pick up when enemies are gone. And yeah, as for that, you can also very much kill steal, which is why you'll see mags get with thousands of kills when the rest of the team still has hundreds. And you may find that asshole-ish. You may find that, what's the word for it? Stupendously annoying. But also, you may see those as a good thing, like me. But yeah, as for that, I think I've covered most of why this is the best and funnest way to build mag. Now, obviously, you may have your own view on how to build mag, and as long as you're having fun with it, that's the important part. If you're not having fun with it, maybe give this a try. If you are having fun with it and just want to give this a try, feel free. Now, I've gotten this build only using 2 Formas. I used one for the corrosive project for the aura slot, changing it from the, God, I forget the names, from the V to the dash. And also used one for vigor to put that one in. And I still have 1 capacitor remaining, which tells me I'm at where I need to be. So it was very simple to actually get this setup set up, and it shouldn't take too much time. I'd recommend a defense mission somewhere low just to rapidly get your levels back when you form a her. But yeah, as for that, I do think that is it. I thank you everyone sitting through here and sitting through all my ramblings. And again, if you have a build you enjoy, feel free to let me know in the comments. Head on over to my Discord. I should have that linked in the description. And feel free to put it there. Feel free to hang out there. And as for that, I hope I have earned your subscription. Feel free to like the video if you liked it, dislike if you disliked it. Contrary to YouTube's belief, we still see those. But yeah. And thank you for watching. And as always, have a good one. And peace out.